Come on in, Diz, and tell us all about it.
Thank you, Pee-wee, and I can't keep from marking how well you are talking. And so long as you've talked today, I begin to think there for a minute I wasn't even going to get on today.
Well, Diz, I had a lot of practice last week. I got to do 6 innings, and, 6 innings you did?
Oh, yeah, I was a big man last week.
I don't see no reason why you shouldn't do 6 today, partner.
Joe Montano leads things off up there as we start the ball game. Hunt winds up. The first pitch of the ball game is a fastball high for ball 1. Stevie told you a beautiful afternoon for baseball here at Crosley Field in Cincinnati, Ohio. Joe Montano, the second sacker up there with the count of 1 ball and no strike. The next pitch is high for ball 2, and the count is 2-0. Talking to some of the Cincinnati fans here, boy, they've got pennant fever. Also, some of the executives and the announcers, one of the great ball players, Frank McCormick, who is announcing for the Cincinnati Redlegs. He says, these last few ball games, the Cincinnati Redlegs have thrown away a lot of runs. The opponents in the last 5 games have scored 46 runs against 18 for the Redlegs. There's ball 3 high, and the count is 3-0. Talking to one of the great ball pitchers of all time, Wade Hoyt, who also is broadcasting for the Redlegs. He was talking about some of the trouble that they were having in the last couple of weeks. They lost 5 in a row, and a week ago they were 6 games out in front. Today they find themselves only 2 games out in front of the Los Angeles Dodgers. There's a strike call, and the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Three and 1. Joe Montano, the second sacker up there waiting. They're playing him straight away. This is what you call a hitting ballpark. Not a good pitcher park, I'll tell you that. The next pitch, strike 2 call, a sidearm fastball in there, and it's a full count of 3-2. There's a line drive into right field for a base hit. Montano singles sharply right by the first sacker into right field. Robinson picks the ball up, whips it back into the infield, and the Giants have a runner on first base with Harvey Keene coming to the plate. Harvey Keene, the left fielder, a right-hand hitter. Ken Hunt, the big right-hander, has won 9 and lost 5 for the Redlegs this year, pitching to his battery mate, John Edwards. I didn't realize, though, that you worked 6 innings last week and Gene only 3. Harvey Keene takes the first pitch. It's in there for strike 1 call. One strike and no balls. They don't play Harvey very deep in center field and right field, but in left field they play him back there pretty good. This guy can hit the ball to all fields. He likes to hit and run with that runner. Nobody out, runner on first. Harvey Keene waiting. The pitch, swung on. There's a high pop fly back to second base, a shortstop. Casco is back, shades his eyes from the sun, and makes the catch for out number 1. Harvey Keene pops out to Casco behind second, 1 away. And this brings up the next batter, Alou, Marty Alou. A right fielder, a left-hand hitter. He'll be followed by Willie Mays, the Say-Hey Kid, the center fielder for the Giants. Alou up there, they play him strictly for a pull hitter in right field. Ken Hunt into the stretch. Here's a pitch, and it's a fastball in there for strike 1 call. As Pee-wee told you, Dusty Boggess, one of our longtime friends, umpire in the Texas League when I was down there 30 years ago in that league. Behind the plate today, a wonderful guy, a great umpire, Dusty Boggess. He's the only man in blue today with his full suit on. There's a slow throw over to first base, but the runner got back in there safely. The other umpires have their coats off. They're in white shirt sleeves. And Dusty Boggess behind the plate, the man in charge. There's another throw to first. But not in time as the runner dove back in there head first. Dusty Boggess in charge of all the umpires today, behind the plate with a blue coat on. The pitch is in there for strike 2 call. A fastball. Looked to me like Pee-wee that Mr. Hunt sort of Fast pitch, this guy, then.
Yes, this is the first chance that I've had to see Ken Hunt pitch, and I talked to Fred Hudson about him. He said he has a real good fastball. He's tough on right-handers. He comes sidearm, a good curveball, and a changeup. If you can get those 3 pitches over, that's all you need, isn't it, Diz?
Boy, you're absolutely right about that. There's a drive down the third baseline. It's going to be foul back into the stands, out of play. And the count remains 2 strikes. That's exactly right, Pee-wee. If you've got a good fastball, a good curve, a good change of pace and control, I'll guarantee you one thing, brother. You're going to give somebody some trouble.
You don't need too many trick pitches.
No.
You can get those 3 over with something on them.
That's right, partner. 2-0, Alou waiting. Here's the pitch. He bunts a ball down the third baseline, and I don't believe they're going to get him. No, sir. The third baseman come charging in there. Reese tried to grab the ball barehanded and couldn't hold on to it. And Alou with 2 strikes on him now, friends and neighbors. Get this, with 2 strikes on him and a man on first base, he bunted down the third baseline and beat it out for a hit. So that puts Giants now on first and second. 1 out, and Willie Mays the batter. Pee-wee, how many times have you seen that in the 20 years that you played baseball?
Well, there's one of the few guys that I've ever seen do it was Mickey Mantle with the Yankees. And to tell you the truth, he got the perfect pitch for it. A curveball, let up curveball.
Right. High.
Yes, sir. Then a fastball, he could have very easily bunted that ball foul.
Willie Mays up there, the center fielder. Swings on the first pitch and fouls it on the ground behind the plate. First strike 1. This guy has 73 runs batted in. He has 20 home runs. 28 home runs. 28 home runs. Thank you, Mr. Kirby. 28 home runs, 73 runs driven in. Other scores, Chicago 1, Philadelphia 1, Milwaukee 5, Pittsburgh 2 after 3 innings of play. 1 strike to count on Willie Mays. Here's the pitch. Swung on. There's a line drive in center field. It's going to be in there for a base hit. Here comes the runner trying to score. The throw into the second baseman. And here comes Joe Matano across the plate for the first run of the ball game. And the Giants lead 1-0. Alou stops at second as Pinson, the center fielder, grabbed that ground ball and whipped it back into the second baseman covering, but Alou slid back into second safely. And Alf Montano scores from second base to put the Giants out in front 1-0. Mays on first, Alou on second, only 1 out, and coming to the plate is Cepeda, the big first sacker. Another powerful hitter, Orlando Cepeda. He has 26 home runs and 82 runs driven in. Runners on first and second, only 1 out. 1 run across the plate. The Yankees have jumped out in front of Boston 3-0 in the last of the second. There's the throw to second, and I'll guarantee you if the second sacker could have held onto that ball, Mr. Alou might have been out. Ball was a little bit low into the dirt, and the ball dropped out of the second baseman's hand blasting game, and Alou got back safely. Orlando Cepeda waiting. Hunt all set. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled. Out of play back into the stands for strike 1. Orlando Cepeda up there with runners on first and second. They play this guy just about straight away, slightly a pull hitter in left. The center fielder moved over towards left center. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on. There's a line drive in the right field. It's going to be in there for a base hit. Robinson comes in. He grabs the ball. The throw to the plate. It's going to be close. He slides. He's in there with the second run. Alou slides into home for the second run for the Giants on that tremendous line drive in the right field that Robinson came in and grabbed on the first hop, put it into the plate, but not in time. As a speedy Alou scores from second base, Willie Mays moves from first to third. The Giants lead 2-0 now with runners still on first and third. And the next batter coming up there is Bailey. Ed Bailey, the catcher, a left-hand hitter. Boy, we've got action right here in the first inning, and talking with Wade Hoyt, one of the old-time greats, and Frank McCormick, one of the great first basemen of the Cincinnati Redlegs here today. Looks like that everything those pitchers are throwing up there at the plate, these guys are taking toe holds and letting it go. So they made a remark about some of the infielders, and the guys on base was tipping off the pitcher's signs, the way they've been hitting that ball. Here's the pitch. So there's a line drive in right field. It's in there for a base hit. Here comes Willie Mays scoring. And going all the way around to third is Cepeda. And the Giants lead now 3-0 on the first pitch. Bailey lined a single to right field over the first baseman's head. And the Giants leading now 3-0 with runners still on first and third. And nobody out of that dugout yet, as the right-hander in the bullpen still continues to warm up. There's the San Francisco dugout you saw. There's the pitcher warming up down the red bullpen. Sherman Jones, the right-hander, warming up. And here comes Freddie Hutchison, number 1, from the dugout, walking across that chalk line towards the mound. And Pee-wee, these Giants have really hit that ball today. Sherman Jones' record so far, he's appeared in 10 ball games. He has won 1 and lost none for a 1,000% pitching record. There's the Giant dugout there. They're all looking around, laughing at one another. You saw Willie Mays telling Cepeda now, he's making the motion there to how persons should slide. You notice that, Pee-wee? Well,
he was either
somebody sliding in there. There they are.
You know, Sam Jones there, and Marshall's his name, I think, another pitcher. One Marshall, they know that they're on the camera, and they are really hamming it up.
Where are they at? In the dugout?
Oh, yeah.